Welcome to Bridge the Atlantic, where we get to know the people behind the creative industries. We are your hosts, music web designer Ross Barber, owner of Electric Kiwi, where we create awesome custom websites for bands, artists, and musicians.
And I'm award-winning singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and indie filmmaker, Marcio Novelli.
This week we welcome Suzanne Paulinski, aka the Rockstar Advocate, to the show. Suzanne started out in the music industry as an intern for Atlantic Records and college rep for WEA. She managed the National Street Team and Midwest retail for Astralwerks EMI and co-founded Mad Dragon Records as she completed her music business degree.
Ross. Always screwing up the bios.
Always.
In addition to her music business experience, Suzanne is a former, not formal, like Ross had before, a former paralegal with a master's in psychology. Now with the Rockstar Advocate, that's Rock/Star Advocate, she is living out her dream of helping musicians and their teams turn their passions into careers. Hi, Suze.
Hello.
I just need to say, we have not met before, but you and Ross have a rapport, and Ross wrote the notes, and he put, "Hi, Suze." That felt so awkward for you, and I've never met her before. Hi, Suze. We were like, oh, wow.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
good.
So just to reference the bio there, Ross originally had that you were a formal paralegal versus an informal.
I think I did read that, and it made me feel fancy, so I thought I didn't even notice that was like a typo. I was like, I was very formal.
It's clearly just because I think so highly of you. I didn't think you were a former paralegal. I thought you were a formal. Yeah. And I was imagining you in like a prom dress and like you had a companion
usually
with a tux.
On Fridays.
Just on Fridays?
Every time we do our Skype calls. You know?
Exactly. I mean, I look like this all the time when we talk. And if you asked my former bosses, they would totally call me formal. Well, it's amazing I didn't get fired multiple times.
So is it Susan or Suzanne?
Suzanne.
Suzanne, tell us 3 things about yourself that everyone should know.
I don't know if they should know it, but they probably don't know it. Most of my friends would tell you I'm a lazy piece of junk that sits on a couch, but I actually was a very competitive gymnast for most of my younger youth. And I was also...
versus your older youth?
Exactly. The younger part of the youth.
Oh, okay.
And for about 10 years. And then I was very much into riding horses, and I even taught horseback riding and gymnastics to young children during my college years. So that's something that many people don't know. And now I'm resting. That's why I sit on the couch a lot. Let's see. Oh, in Drexel, I was, went to school. I was part of an a cappella group. The Troublemakers.
Troublemakers? Wow.
Just like in Pitch Perfect.
Just like also in The Office with, what's his name?
Andy
Bernard, yeah.
They were the Trouble Tones or something. Yeah. Were they the Trouble
something?
Yes, but very similar to that. It's very much like it is in Pitch Perfect, not that far off. And my solo was Don't Stand So Close to Me by the Police. Very proud of that. And the last thing I would say is a lot of people tell me I'm very funny, but what they don't know is that usually something that they've laughed at is usually something I'm quoting from Friends. So my secret is out.
It's all good. I quote Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, South Park, any of them. And Seinfeld. That's my comedy.
Yeah, so I take credit for it because they don't realize that it's a quote that I didn't write. But, yeah.
So, Suze, as a fellow music industry entrepreneur, you know that it's not an easy industry to work in. Can you share maybe one of your biggest challenges and how you've overcome it?
Oh, geez, there's so many. I think the biggest challenge that I'm facing these days is that now that my business, I had a former business, I had a business partner, 9-to-5 artist consulting. We did a lot of bio writing and marketing material creations for artists, social media plans, and so forth. And now that I'm doing more consulting work and I'm trying to do more mindset work, the artists that do get on board, they find it extremely helpful and they're very thankful for it. But when they first start to ask about me, they almost feel like, oh, that's a little too close to therapy for me, or that's a little too, I don't need to invest in mindset. I need to be in the studio. So I think a huge issue with the music industry is just this, it's like paying for studio time and paying for, all that equipment is quote unquote worth it, or where they should be spending their money, and the self-care and the, staying sane while you do all that stuff is kind of thrown out the window. Now, whether you work with me or anybody for that matter, I'd rather you just practice self-care and practice, getting a better handle on what your goals are before you start investing in, the better equipment or the better music video or the fancier tour van or something like that. So I'd say that's one of the biggest obstacles these days is the way we treat self-care in this industry.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Mindset's everything. And I don't know why anyone would be, I'm a huge advocate for therapy and anything to get yourself in the right place. That's more important than anything.
Absolutely.
Put your money into that. I mean, you can just, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
you got my okay.
Thanks.
So that actually leads us to the next kind of point that I wanted to talk about.
Segue.
Yep. Segue, Suze. Was that your a cappella name?
Segways.
Who told you?
So I'd like you to sort of dive in to mindset a little bit, and for those who don't really understand what mindset is, can you explain a little bit more about it and why you think it's important for artists to be focusing on that?
Absolutely, Ross. So mindset work is basically just staying sane. It basically, with the music industry, for example, you're constantly being told no, or this isn't good enough, or or even if you're not being told no, you're putting stuff out there that's very vulnerable, and you usually aren't getting the response that you're hoping to get. So that takes a toll. That takes a toll on your emotional well-being. It takes a toll on your mental well-being, and just the physicality of it all. Those late nights, the not sleeping, the constant grinding and the hustle. And that's all everybody talks about. And it almost becomes a competition of who has slept less.
All I had was late nights on Grindr, by the way, just saying.
Very different thing. Very different thing.
Yeah. So I've been doing this wrong?
Yeah, no.
Oh, God. Please keep talking so I can learn. Yeah. I'm doing this wrong.
So really what I look at it as mindset as is redefining the hustle. And what I mean by that is stop comparing how much sleep you got to somebody else. Stop wearing your 3 hours of sleep as a badge of honor, because it doesn't mean that you're doing something more or something better than somebody who got 6 or 7 hours of sleep. Mindset is staying focused on what you're doing, staying in your lane, and coming back to that center focus, so that when people are saying no or not supporting you or not giving you what you want, and that kind of tries to knock you off your game, you're staying centered and you're able to still plow ahead and do what needs to get done, because there are so many distractions out there. And there's, social media, as amazing as it is to market yourself, it can also just tear a person down. And one of the compare your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reel. And that's exactly what social media is, because everyone's putting out their highlights and you're sitting there like, oh my God, I'm doing awful and I'm not where I want to be and this is taking so long. So mindset work, to answer your question, is to drown out that noise and get back to where you need to be.
I love that. You know what? And then throw in having kids like myself over the last, 3.5 years or so. You know what? I wanted to make a point of that. I'm with you on the whole idea of, I got so little sleep. I'm so busy. I'm working. So I don't like saying hate, but it really bothers me when people, it's like they're trying to impress you all the time, not just in the music industry in general, saying, I'm so busy. I'm so this. And, that's why they can't make time for friends or family or this. And it's like, you know what? You can always make time. I'm a parent of 2 little boys now, and you know what? I have a lot less time to make music, but yet I've been able to write more music than I ever have before, because it's like that time you get and you set aside is more focused time, because there's no distractions. You have to be very disciplined. I think it forces you to be, and I was that musician up until 5, 6 a.m. For many years writing, but you don't have to be. You don't have to be at all, So yeah, I like that. I like that. You're okay, Susan, Suze, whatever you want.
Never
to call it.
Susan.
No. Okay.
Don't
sorry.
even joke.
Sorry.
Don't go there.
So sorry. Okay. Oh gosh.
So what would be some tips that you could offer to artists who are looking to shift their mindset towards success? 'Cause I can imagine a lot of artists are listening to this and thinking, I like the sound of it, but where do I start? What can I do? What are maybe some quick things that I can do to get moving in the right direction?
Sure. So, and I do have posts of this on my blog. I have lots of posts on this, but mainly what you will find is monotasking, which is the opposite of multitasking, which so many people, throw at us, especially with in this new generation of laptops and working while you're at Starbucks and all this stuff. Monotask. So what I mean by that is it doesn't mean if you're putting out an album, don't even think about touring or crowdfunding or anything else. It just means if your goal, I'd say the first thing is really write out what you want to accomplish in the here and now. And so if what that goal is to get a tour going or play better shows, or something that has to do with, say, live performing, then if you've got a crowdfunding campaign coming up or you've got other things on the horizon, I'm not saying ignore those things. I'm just saying make sure you're dedicating time to only rehearse for your shows when you're rehearsing for them. Don't get in your room and start rehearsing, but then have your laptop open and you're checking, your crowdfunding campaign emails, or you're doing those posts, and in between those posts you're looking at your set list and you've got all these different things out on your desk. Like, clear out your desk, do one thing at a time, and like you had just said, Marcio, like, discipline. It takes discipline to do it, but trust in the process. I'm sorry, Pepper's being really
That's
loud.
all right.
Trust in the process that, clear out that noise of, oh my God, stop working on that because you've got something else to do. Just try it. Spend 1 hour doing something, and when you've gotten it done, realize, oh my God, I still have time to get the other stuff done. I think we let all this noise come in where it's up that this still has to be done and this isn't going to get done. You have to do it all at once so you can get them all done.
Notifications everywhere.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Turn the computer off. Silence your phone. Really,
I just deleted Facebook off my phone.
Exactly.
Sorry.
No, 100%. And there are also amazing apps that, silence all the notifications, put your cell phone on, airplane mode or whatever. Those notifications will still be there when you get back.
Oh God, yes, they will.
Yeah. And I think a huge part of that is that trust factor that this process actually works. Because in order to get started, you have to say to yourself, okay, this is going to work. Nothing's going to go up in flames. I can still have time to get everything done. Once you trust that, the rest of the process is very easy, and you can start monotasking and you can start focusing. I think that's the biggest thing for mindset, is to just put your focus on what you're doing. Give yourself the respect to give 100% rather than trying to give 25% here and 25% there, because then nothing's getting 100%. And then what are you even doing?
Well, you know what? I'm loving this because that's what I've been working on. I used to, that's how I used to work. Just completely absorb myself in one thing and kind of lose I guess I was lost in like a Zen-like state, working particularly writing, songwriting. And then I guess over the last few years, because social media, I'm telling you, that was the reason. I was in the middle of writing a song and, oh, there's a tweet. You got to check that. It's ridiculous, right? And I've actually been doing this lately. And I actually urge all our viewers and listeners to actually give this a shot, whether or not you're in the music industry or any industry at all. Honestly, turn off all your notifications and then set aside a time to sign into Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. That can be your time to see what's up or who commented on this or what. But having that constant, any time of the day reminder, like, we don't need that. It's just not necessary for anybody, and I feel it creates anxiety. It creates this, it also, I find you're in a conversation with someone. They're like, oh yeah, like that fucking tweet or that comment on something or someone liked a status is more important than I'm right in your face right now, like within you. Oh my God, not me. Oh my God. Wow. What is happening today in front of you? The presence, I mean, it's the same with texting and that whole thing. So like, for example, when I go out for dinner, if I'm out or having dinner with my family or out anywhere or visiting a friend, my phone is on airplane mode. or it is just in my pocket. It's just not necessary, to have it on the table. And anyways, I can go on for hours and hours on that rant, but turn off notifications, people.
It's true. And the thing that you'll learn is that when you go back, instead of like 1 or 2 notifications, you've got like 14, and then it just makes you feel so like popular and excited when you've got 14 notifications.
Exactly. And it's a lot less time you dedicate to it too. You can do that in like 5 minutes, whereas you probably would have spent 3 to 5 minutes per notification. It's just so, I don't know. It's a necessary evil. I think it's great. I love the ability to connect with, people who dig what I'm doing, but it's also like, besides that's the one thing I love about it, but the whole all that kind of stuff.
It's a total time suck, and it does create anxiety. That's why I took email off my phone, and like that's why I did take Facebook off my phone. I have it back on now, but totally notifications coming at you from every angle, all hours of the day. It is really stressful. When you're getting a lot of them, it can be really stressful.
I love the connection, but like I said, set aside the time for it.
Right. And that's why when I tell clients at first, when I'm like monotask, they just look at me with this fright in their eyes. Like, I don't have time. But what they're not realizing, like you said, each notification or distraction is a few minutes here, a few minutes there, a few minutes there. And you add that up and it's like, no, multitasking is actually the time suck. Yeah, it's just kind of counterintuitive because you're telling yourself, oh, I'm getting all these things done at once, while you're half-assing them and you're building anxiety and you are wasting time. So yeah, I think it just takes a little bit of trust. And then once you start doing it, you're like, oh my God, monotasking is like the best thing ever. So.
I love it. Are you ready for 20 questions?
Go.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Meat or veggies?
Both. Meat, but just put the vegetables in, just get them in my mouth. I just love food.
We were getting along so well. Twitter or Facebook?
Oh, neither. Instagram.
Hip hop or country?
Ooh, Nelly and Tim McGraw do an amazing song together. So again, I gotta just put it together.
Will Ferrell or Anna Kendrick?
Oh God, you did your research. Anna Kendrick's within me, so I can say Will Ferrell and still be okay.
What does that mean?
That. Well, because like she's
how's that different than the
me.
terrible slip that I said about being in people? Come on, I'm in you. Get off your phone. Like, this is so rude. Every time, I swear.
Because I think people know I'm talking about my soul.
Right.
And they don't know what you're talking about.
I hope not.
I think we all know what Marcio's talking about.
I have to go with Will Ferrell.
I love Will Ferrell. He's so funny. He's so funny.
Arrested Development or The Office?
Ooh, The Office.
Talent or attitude?
Attitude can overcome anything.
Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston?
Oof. Mariah Carey.
Oh, wow.
I'm with you there.
That's a tough one. I think I might pick Whitney Houston. That's a tough one.
And is that, who do I want to get coffee with, or who could I listen to just like nonstop? I mean,
you can't have coffee with Whitney Houston anymore. I'm sorry to say.
True, but probably it's attitude. Like she was a Jersey girl. I'm a New York girl. Like I feel like I could like chill with her more. Probably.
Just hopefully not.
Just not in this lifetime.
Well. Michael Scott or Dwight Schrute?
Oh God, Michael Scott.
Canada or Scotland?
Scotland.
Ross always makes fun of my terrible accents.
To be fair, both of your accents were fucking terrible. So
thank you, Ross.
Scotland.
That actually does make me feel better.
No.
Scandal or The Good Wife?
Oh, The Good Wife. The writing is still up to par. So.
Spreadsheets or sweatpants?
Can I have both? Why is this either or?
Because life, you can't have everything.
Sweatpants.
Tina Fey or Amy Poehler, and I'm sorry you have to choose between them.
I know. I have to say Amy Poehler right now, though. Because her book is I'm dying.
I haven't read either one of them, and I should. Tina Fey is a lot more active with producing things, though, eh? She's got like a lot of shows she's producing.
I think
and
Amy
Bossy
Poehler's got a
Pants
lot
was
now.
good.
Yeah.
And Bossy Pants was good, but yes, please. I'm reading it and I can't stop laughing out loud. Like she just seems like my type of people.
Education or experience?
Experience.
Michael Jackson or Michael Bolton?
Michael Bolton. Boom, drop mic. Just because I've watched so many episodes, I have to even out the...
You're just taking Ross's side.
We talk about Michael Bolton all the time.
I know.
We actually do.
Listen, I think I've seen like every episode of this podcast, so I'm well aware.
We love you. We really do. I don't think we've even seen every episode of this podcast.
That's horrible.
So can you guess what question's coming up next?
Yoga or Yoka?
No, we took that one out. We don't have that one. Let's see. It's later on. It's like two polar opposite celebrities.
Ross or Marcio.
No, that's the last one. This is a famous pop singer. She's got an amazing voice, or a real
is this
goth
Celine
rocker.
Dion or Marilyn Manson?
You got it.
One.
Can I pick Anna Gasteyer as Celine Dion?
I don't know who that is. I'm
on
sorry.
SNL when she would like impersonate Celine Dion.
Oh yeah, she was great.
She was so much better than I would pick her, but I'd have to go with Celine Dion. And can we just like have a moment for her? She just lost her brother and her husband in 1 week.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw my support her way. Yeah.
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky.
I know, Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais.
Whale or kale?
Neither, but I guess kale. I'm killing him.
Bette Midler.
Bette Midler, 100%.
Bette Midler or the Riddler?
Bette Midler, I just saw her in concert, and she's like 75 and amazing. So she puts like pop stars to shame. It's not even funny.
And we all know that the last question, you're not going to say Marcio. Not because
you don't know.
Because I'm not amazing and so good looking and just so talented, just everything. Really the package. But
I was going to say Marcio because he manages children and music and podcasting and Ross all in like a day's work.
Hey, no. Sus.
I'm going to take this. Ross, you have no say.
Let's get this straight.
I'm so happy by this one. It's my favorite win.
Marcio does not manage me. Marcio.
There we go. Yeah, he's taking this to heart. He's really upset by it. He gets particularly upset when somebody that he knows before I do picks me, because that's worse. That's like I know you and I'm definitely not picking you. I'm picking this guy I've only talked to.
I know.
Listen, I've watched a lot of them. I just saw Ariel. Do the whole thing. I have to throw some of this guy's way. I mean, nobody really likes
now it's
Canada.
pity. Now you're doing
it's
pity. Now you just ruined it. Now it's like, he doesn't really get it. So here's the pat on the back, Marcio. There's some love for you. Keep going.
Listen, I can't
do what you do.
I can't be the rock star advocate and pick a web designer.
Yeah, see how she said that too. She said that's so condescending.
No, but I mean, like, I'm an advocate for musicians, so I have to pick a musician. It comes with the territory.
I mean, as long as you did it because you felt you have to, not because you wanted to, that's fine.
I feel so much conflicting emotions right now.
Well, that's why you need to work on your mindset, Marcio.
Yeah. You brought it full circle.
Oh, I did.
Well, where can I learn about this
mindset? A divorced couple just asked their children, like, pick mommy or daddy, and now they're just arguing in front of them. It's really awkward.
Oh, that's what we go for with this.
Oh my God. Well, speaking of mindset, where can I learn? See this? I'm trying to do a segue. Where can I learn more about your mindset?
You can go to therockstaradvocate.com. That's therockstaradvocate.com. Don't forget the. It's very important.
And your Twitter and Instagram is rockstaradvo.
At all across the board.
Yeah, well, Facebook is the Rockstar Advocate, so.
Well, but if you found me on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, it's Rockstar Advo.
And they're the best places
we were having a thing.
Well, it sounds like you're cool. You're like Advo. I'm so cool. I'm not going to say the whole word,
I know. I want to take credit for that. It was really Twitter being like, too long.
And I was like, Bridge the Atlantic. Our Twitter is Bridge_Atlantic. And someone's like, oh, that's so cool. You guys like put the bridge between Bridge and Atlantic. We're like, yeah,
sure. That's what we were going for.
Yes.
It's not that we were one character short. At one point, we were going to put Bridge.
No, we didn't actually seriously consider that. It was in the ring, but it wasn't really. It wasn't really in with a shot.
Atlantic. Yeah.
Can I request something? I like the website, and I'm sure you can have all different mugs and mouse pads and stuff with your logo on it. But can we get like
hashtag Team Marcio and hashtag Team Ross like shirts go? Can we really make this like
Actually,
That would be
yes.
amazing.
I think we should.
I would buy both.
But
of
then
them.
we'll have to get a lot more Team Marcios made. So like, you know,
Well,
that won't be.
I would buy a Team Marcio T-shirt and then wear it whenever I Skype with Ross and just see how his mindset is, and just.
Do you know what we could do? We can make them reversible, so it depends on who you like that day.
Kind of genius. I kind of
That's
like
good.
that. Yeah, but
Like
never the same.
inside out, like each
that.
side is a different. I like
That's
that.
right. But the side that like has Ross's name on it will always have pit stains on it because it's always going to be on the inside. So they won't want to I'm
He always has to go for the really has to get in there. That's
yeah. I'm going to keep it clean. I'm not going to comment on that.
I know. I
so
was testing you fast. That was good.
It's hard. No, okay.
That's what she said.
Taking a Michael Scott here. Thank you. Okay, so as for me, I'm working on my second solo album, and you can hear my music at marcionovelli.com. I recently released my award-winning documentary, Walking Proof, which chronicles the making of my debut solo album, which you can watch for free, because I'm generous like that, at marcionovelli.com/walkingproof. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify, which are all /marcionovelli, and say hi.
I'm working on websites for various artists at the moment, and I'm in the early stages of writing my first book. You can check out my work and my blog posts at electrickiwi.co.uk. You'll find me on Twitter and Instagram as Electric Kiwi, and on Facebook, Electric Kiwi Design.
This episode was brought to you by the wonderful sponsors that we have, Chris Keaton, Alyssa Parma, Buck Naked Soap Company, and Social Surge.
And if you'd like to sponsor the show, visit patreon.com/bridgetheatlantic.
Thank you so much, Suze.
Yay!
This has been wonderful.
I can't wait to watch it because I don't remember what I said. That entire thing was just a blur.
Thanks for watching Bridge the Atlantic. If you like what you saw, make sure to like, favorite, and most importantly, subscribe so that you don't miss each week's episode.
Please feel free to leave us a comment letting us know what you think of the show.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and subscribe to us on iTunes so that you can listen to us on the go. Thanks again for being awesome, and we'll see you on next week's episode.